Welcome one and all to a picture of perfection on a summery Wednesday in the Palmetto State. A cloud-bare sky hangs above as we bring you to GE Vernova Park, where today's match is presented by Air-Sys. There's a mounting sense of necessity for the home side of Greenville triumph as the playoff line shrinks on the horizon, desperate to come good against one of the division's mighty sides, AC Boise, the Idahoans, incandescent in the recent spree of form. Howdy, folks. With Ross Davenport, I'm Peyton Gallagher, and you see where AC Boise have been able to position themselves as of late, currently fifth in the table. Greenville looking well up at them with plenty of room to make up. Only 15 games played, partner. That's the least in the league, but on 14 points. It's going to be a tough task, and it has to start tonight.
Yeah, they got to get things going soon here. Boise struggled on the road at times this season. Greenville can play well at home. A few injuries, but we'll see. I need 3 points tonight, no doubt about it.
For Dave Dixon and the Greenville Triumph, as we look back at their most recent stretch of games, the big thing is the offense just has not been there for them in these last three matches.
It has not. They knocked off the Cosmos 3-0 on Independence Day. Hopes were high then that perhaps that win would give them a little bit of momentum heading into the rest of the summer, but it's been back to the same old since then. Second worst offense in the league. They've continued to fire blanks in front of goal game after game. 0 tallies in 3 straight losses coming into tonight, all against teams below the playoff line.
Greenville have been shut out a league high 8 times this year coming into this match, and that makes it all the more important that they have a sturdy defensive showing, as Brandon Fricky will be at the back again today, and he's got familiarity with Nate Miller and AC Boise.
He does, the leader of this Triumph side, going up against his original League One coach tonight. He played for Boise coach Nate Miller in the one and only Lansing Ignite season back in 2019. Back 3 for Greenville. They've allowed the fewest shots in the league this season, 167.
Several of his teammates from that team in 2019, Lansing Ignite, will be on the opposite side of the line today. Tumi Mochaban, as well as Nick Moon, and it's been a large part for why Boise have been so successful. A lot of high-power players all up and down this team, and maybe playing the best they have all year.
Undefeated in their last 3 league games. Also have a winner over USL Championship side Sacramento in the Cup. Sorted out the defensive side of things since that 5-1 loss to Madison. Just 4 goals allowed in the last 6 in all competition.
But not complacent at all, because they've strengthened in a major way, and that will show off in the starting 11 in this one as Jesus Barea makes his first start, having been acquired from Real Salt Lake last week.
Yeah, the 24-year-old Spaniard, he was a superb goal scorer in college, 34 goals at Missouri State. And Nate Miller had a big role in making him the 19th pick in the 2025 MLS Super Draft when he was at Real Salt Lake. 17 goals and 23 MLS Next Pro appearances coming in to this evening.
Could be one of the real spark plugs in the division down the stretch. We're starting to find out what it's going to look like in 2026 in the USL League One. Greenville need it. Boise with the uplift. What will happen next? We'll find out. Lineups and kickoff coming to you.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through, growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
There's people that go their whole education without having an African-American teacher. So when I received my lottery-funded life scholarship, I knew I wanted to choose a school that had the Call Me Mr. program. Their mission is to recruit and retain teachers in underserved areas. I want them to be able to look at me and say, okay, he looks like me, he knows what I'm going through, he can guide me in the right direction.
More role models means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
It started with a painful play. Then a team that rallied. A surgeon who made it look easy. And a therapist who pushed just the right amount. Orthopedic care, from start to finish at Prisma Health. We're not just here to heal, we're here for good.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through, growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
Lineup cards coming in here in South Carolina and starting off with the home side at Greenville Triumph. This is presented by Groundworks, and Dave Dixon has shuffled things around a little bit today. Looks like starting with a front three.
Yeah, the one change is moving Mubanor a little further forward than his wingback where he has been the last couple of games, 25 days signing. This may be his last game, may have one more on Saturday. Kimito Fritz goes into his right wingback spot.
Roadside at AC Boise coming into this match off short rest, coming down from the match at the weekend against the Cosmos. It's a heavily rotated team for this one.
Yeah, 5 changes from that 2-1 win at the Cosmos on Saturday. They had to take the bus down to South Carolina due to their flights being cancelled. Power on the bench, though, if necessary. 5 starters there to use. Moussainier gets his second start in 6. Keegan Euler, his second league start of the season.
Conversation with Dave Dixon in preparation for this game. Agreed with the assessment, at least in principle. Dave Dixon's been around this league for a couple years at this point. This might be the most talented top-to-bottom roster in the history of the USL League One. In possession of AC Boise as they pursue some lofty goals in their first year of operation up against one of the league's old guard, Greenville, staring dead in the face the prospect of potentially missing out on the playoffs for the second consecutive year and the second time in club history. It's a big one today.
It is. Maybe they're catching Boise at a good time with their travel issues earlier this week and the short week. 3 games in 8 days for Nate Miller's men. This is the second one. Obviously, they will be at home against Corpus Christi on the weekend.
The sharp fangs of desperation need to be shown by the Triumph here at home today. It's a big week with Portland at the weekend as well. Trying to find the offense. It's been a miss in recent weeks. Now losing 3 consecutive matches without a win in their last 4 in all comps, and failed to score in their last 292 league minutes. Greenville up against an AC Boise side that aren't going to struggle to find those meaningful moments on the front foot.
No, they'll certainly press from the start here, as you can see, putting the Greenville Triumph back 3 under pressure. Talked to Nate Miller a little bit this week about how he's been dealing with presses, especially away from home on different turfs.
Assad Liadi was probing forward and gets chopped down straight away by one of the league's great center backs, Jake Dangler. And this could be real trouble with the set piece unfolding. And beachfront territory for Connor Evans inside the first 60 seconds.
Anthony Patti also coming over. See if they fancy a bit of the left-footed variety.
Center official today is Islan Pexanar, and he's faced with a big decision in the early going. Jonathan Cleaver has all but become the #1 keeper of choice for Nate Miller over the last couple of months in goal. Coming off a strong-handed performance against the Cosmos, 4 saves. Testing of the nerve. Connor Evans, can he come good? Evans, up and over.
It's always going to take something special to be the keeper with the right foot from that distance on that side of the pitch.
This is something you'll see all game and something this man will try to figure out here today. Dave Dixon now in his first season, almost midway through, give or take. His time at the helm in this first year for him as a senior manager. It is the Rubik's Cube that is how Boise build the game out of the back. Will be a theme all night long as they press into the final third now.
Yeah, the numbers from that Corpus Christi game on Saturday were heavily in favor of Greenville across the board, but just couldn't find the back of the net. The wind was an issue during that game. Weather perfect here tonight in Greenville. A little breezy, as you can see from the corner flag there, but no threat of any nastiness tonight, thankfully.
They have had plenty of fallow performances in this stretch of struggle, Greenville Triumph, but it is a good point by you. The Corpus Christi game really shown a lot of signs of offensive spark and progression. The final product was the thing they missed on that day.
Yeah, Dave Dixon said they had 4 or 5 really good chances. Getting another shutout was frustrating. The one chance for Corpus Christi went in. It's been the story of the season, though, for Greenville. Limited shots, but so many of those shots from the opposition have gone in. See if their luck can turn around this evening against a potentially tired Boise side, but we mentioned with plenty of firepower on the bench. Luck also hasn't gone Greenville's way with the injuries. We heard Shane Beckford out for a while now, has had surgery. He'll be out for even longer. I'm not sure if we'll see him much the rest of the season.
Physical fight at the touchline. Running in behind was Omar Yaya, who's been reintroduced into the starting 11 today, only his 5th start of the year, spelling Thomas Among, who's been in sizzling form up front for Boise.
That was a big touch there by Anthony Patti on the slide. Had to get something on it and get it back to Amal Knight. Yaya could have been through on goal there.
On the wide side, it's the Idaho native Keegan Euler. Scooped into the middle. Dennis Kostashin. Greenville doing well to clock bodies up in front of that pivotal space in front of the 18. But already you start to feel the field tilts, as it so often does when Boise are involved. That downhill persuasion for the roadside.
Yeah, going back to the Greenville injuries, Devin Boyce is available tonight on the bench. Key off-season signings for Dave Dixon. Hasn't been healthy all year. Such an impact when he does get on the field with his injury. Ricketts.
Dennis Kostashin will keep it on and flings himself forward. Infield it goes! And it's 1-0! A first goal on a first start for AC Boise. Jesus Barrera has busted it up and made it 1-0 inside the first 5.
Greenville just torn apart. Can't leave that man with any kind of space near the box. Saw his finishing ability in MLX Next Pro. Turnover on this near sideline. You can see Barrera just coasting into the box. Slipped by Zane Bob. Kimito Fritz was in the vicinity. You can see Brandon Fricke pulled out of position. He should perhaps have been right where Barrera was. And that's a composed, there's a clinical finish by a man used to those.
He's come from Cadiz, and he's cut Greenville in 2. 1-0 early on. Nightmare fuel for Dave Dixon in the triumph.
Yeah, not the start they wanted, that's for sure.
How do Greenville respond? Flat-backed on the mat in the first round.
The problem is when you're playing 3 at the back against that 3-4-3, it's a lot of man-to-man. You lose possession like that in your own final third, you got to scramble back and try and figure out who you're marking, and they just lost track of Barrera there. It cost them dearly.
They're not hesitating to get forward now. Meek and Mubanor and Congress drifting in. The knock-ons there. It was William Accio that made first contact, but Azam Liati was never going to win that fight over Cleaver. There is Nate Miller. Such a prolific feature of what San Diego Loyal did, first as an assistant and then as the head manager several years ago. And able to take some time in MLS and saw the opportunity for this project to be something really special, and special it has been in year 1.
No doubt about it. Obviously, got plenty of resources behind him in Boise, as this roster shows from top to bottom. It's been a bit of an up and down season, but you perhaps would expect that with a new crew. They've beaten the teams they're supposed to beat. They've lost to some of the teams above the playoff line as well, but certainly in position to give a home quarterfinal a crack here down the stretch.
And the reality is, it was always going to maybe be a little bit shakier in the early going for Boise. Fully new group, plenty of talent, yes, as Amal Knight will come out and collect at the top of the box. But there is so much detail in what Nate Miller wants to do, and intricacy that is starting to come to life now, and they really have taken shape over the last month or so.
It took him a little while to get used to Nate Miller's system. We had a good chat with him this week about how he really wanted to figure out how to break down low blocks in this league. He said during his San Diego time he decided to change things up and been a professor of this 3 at the back, wing back system.
Mumanor forcefully forward, and now floated to to the end line. It was always going to take a great touch to keep it on, and it will ultimately transgress out over the end line. Goal kick to come. So Ross, the keys to the game in your eyes, I'm sure that it probably would have been a little bit different in a 0-0 situation, but Greenville already blemished. They just need to win one battle at a time, but they're doing so from a disadvantageous position at this stage.
Yeah, we talked to Dave Dixon about the lack of luck this team has had, and he encouraged them just to win one, whether it's a duel, win that one ball in the final third, and obviously perhaps nicely if you can win a game. He said the small margins can really change how a team's luck can go as well as a season. And as for Boise, transition D, Nate Miller said he's been disappointed. He hasn't been disappointed with much in his team of late, but he thinks the transition defense can be better. And he knows this pacey front line at Greenville can give you trouble if you let them get out and running.
Sent skyward by Cleaver. Greenville win the first ball. Boise win the second. Brendan Fricke wins the third. And it's loosely given away. Shuffled forward for Zadliati. It was a necessary tackle by Josh Yarrell. And a foul is called against Connor Evans and his ambition to try and get the ball back.
Talked to Dave Dixon a bit about getting the guys to enjoy themselves still, even with their struggles of late. He said it's been a roller coaster all season. He's tried individually to connect with the players a little bit on the flights, etc., and understand their individual stories and just change things up a little bit in their, not their warm-ups, but their preparation for games. Told them all that they were pushing the rock up the hill as a team still. The stats are there, other than the goals. See if they come tonight. Find themselves down here 1-0 early.
Not only did he invoke Sisyphus in our conversation with him, he went as far as to say it almost feels like somebody else is on the other side of the boulder pushing it down the hill actively as Greenville trying to achieve their goals. Chopper Herrera brought to ground and foul is called. AC Boise will not cede territory, at least without participation. They are a front-footed pressing team that believes the ball is something that belongs to them. It's their possession.
Yep, have the third most passes completed in the league this season, second in passing percentage. You just can't do what Greenville did before that first goal and give it to them in dangerous positions. They'll make you pay within a couple of passes normally, and that was the situation there on that opener.
Made that boulder a lot heavier for themselves.
There's still not time to panic, though. Long way to go here.
They are playing against a side that have conceded the joint fewest goals in the first half of games this year, allowing only 7 AC Boise. And we know how difficult it's been for Greenville to get goals as they stand into this game as the least proficient offensive side in the division in that category.
And Boise have one. Oh, hold on.
Beaten high in the sky by a pressing Musa Enya, but kept by Amal Knight, and a chance for you to continue that thought.
Yeah, Boise have won their last 2 away games coming into this one, up in New York against Westchester and the Cosmos. But before that, they'd gone 5 in a row, winless away from home, allowing 13 goals in those 5 games. So opportunities will be there tonight for the Tribe. It's just a question if they can put them in the back of the net, which has obviously been their Achilles heel of late.
Stepping into today, those numbers on your screen right now, and prior to those last 2 games, like you said, only had the 1 away win with 3 draws and 4 losses.
Well, 4 of those away losses came to Omaha, Alta, Charlotte, and Madison. So we have been visiting those teams in the top half of the table.
There's something more to that, and maybe a chance to review it. On the other side of this corner kick, but in the here and now, it's Greenville with a meaningful opportunity. Connor Evans over the ball. Outswinger. In for Fricke. He's made a happy habit of scoring goals this year. Not going to come good this time around, but still on. Flag is down. Punched away by Cleaver. Thrust back in. Boise can't get rid. Overhead again. Oh my word! One of the great goals. Speechless. A legendary Lucas Meek moment. 1-1 it is. What have we just seen?
Well, Greenville just kept it alive in the danger area. They were looking just for it to fall to somebody. I don't think they'd expected it to fall to somebody with their back to goal. Lucas Meek just hanging around here, watching at the edge of the 6-yard box here, just hoping it comes to him in a dangerous area. Good little flick over by Evans. Good punch by Cleaver. And Fritz just knocks it back in, and here's Meek. You think from where he is there, 12 yards out. Cleaver didn't expect it at all, especially the contact that Lucas Meek made with his bicycle kick, but there's certainly a contender for goal of the season. You can see his reaction too. Initial shock and then, hey, calm down. I'm used to doing things like that.
It's casual.
Almost like the Brandon Fricky one way earlier in the season when he smashed it home. Not quite in that fancy of a style, but Lucas Meek getting the start again at the left wing back spot.
Well, when you hadn't scored in 300 minutes, I guess that's worth the wait.
With a bang, no doubt.
It's what was required. Lucas Meek is the one to deliver. And the game restarts at the quarter-hour stage. It feels like something that Greenville have been waiting for. Just a moment of inspiration like that all season long.
Yeah, needed a bit of luck. Hold on.
Kostas in! Bar down and in! A blitz out of the gate here in Greenville today. They are flying in, and Dennis Kostashin has offered a strong rebuttal.
Kostashin got off to such a hot start this season. A nice little run between the centre backs, and you can't beat that for a finish. Nothing much Amal Knight can really do about that. Again, this Greenville back three just leaving Kostashin in too much space. For Paddy having to scramble over, not doing it with much urgency. And a quality finish from a man who was so hot earlier this season. We talked to Nate Miller about Dennis Kostashin earlier this season, where the teams had got used to him for a little bit, but he's moved around the pitch. He's given up his spot on that side of the pitch to Mimo Shaban when healthy, or when the full lineup's in, I should say. You know what that man can do, given time and space in the box.
He hadn't scored in 7 games in the league. Only 1 goal in the last 12 after that fireball start, with 4 in the first 5 games. For Boise, that was hit with white-hot conviction, though. And he has confiscated any joy Greenville were feeling.
You can't say the fans tonight at G. Vanover Park haven't been entertained in these first 16 minutes.
Ball in, searching for the head of Azad Liani, might still stick. Down to Mubanor. First touch fills him up a bit, but he has regathered. Back in it goes. Azad Liani, or rather that Akio taking it down. Brandon Fricky sturdily in.
They got away with one there. It wasn't a huge reaction from the Boise bench, though.
Chapo Herrera pondering. He's been bumped into.
There's the response.
I think Island Pescanar in a position where, after that first foul, the retribution probably is not going to be allowed without this thing boiling up. Colin Ashley, Jonathan Smith running the lines today, with Josh Lampkins offering his service as the 4th official. If you're just now joining us, a game has happened. 2-1 is our score. A bicycle kick from Lucas Meek, sandwiched between 2 great Boise goals, scored by their dueling 10. Jesus Pereira on the first, getting his first. For AC Boise in the colors, and then Dennis Kostashin, most recently putting one bar down on a first-time half volley. Soccer. And on the far side, looking for more on the road team.
You never know what you're going to get whenever a game starts. That's why we all love this beautiful game.
Gassel. Boise still pressing hard on the gas. Away by him all night. Pushed along by Lucas Meek, and Mubanor has the imperative. Streaking away onto the left foot, and nobody's home for the cutback. Zadliani was stalking with his run and never quite got into that full gate. make plans to join the Triumph on August 1st for Community Impact Night, presented by Hughes Agency, supported by Bridgeway Brewing Company. Celebrate the organization's volunteers and community partners whose dedication makes the Upstate a stronger place to live, work, and play. Enjoy a night of soccer, community, and local pride at GE Vernova Park. Get your tickets at GreenvilleTriumph.com.
Of course, Portland playing a friendly tonight. Get to that in a second.
Nothing friendly about what Azad Liati is thinking at the moment. Liati couldn't unleash it. Lost in the mix as Mubanor was right in his airspace. And forward quickly, go AC Boise. Excellent bit of recovery defending by Chapa Herrera. Foul is called. And still probably sufficient in the defensive duties. And now there's pushing and shoving. The referee has seen enough. That's probably the last warning any player will get for the extracurriculars.
That was a little harsh perhaps there on Chapa Herrera. I think it was shoulder to shoulder and he got the foot in there first, but referee Pexonar disagreed.
Jesus Pereira is being summoned back to the principal's office.
And back to Portland, playing second friendly in a row against Sarasota tonight. I wonder if they'll go straight to Greenville from Florida. I would imagine they might.
Snowbird Cup is what it's being called.
Is there an actual cup, though? Nobody's been able to confirm that.
I have had it confirmed there is no cup.
There is no cup, okay.
Our facts and info department,
I mean, Greenville,
sharp and ready for that.
Greenville, the holders of the Peach States trophy?
I don't think so. They lost the last one.
Oh, they did, okay. I was going to say, that thing's in a closet somewhere. Somebody could use it.
Ball in from Cassell. Well, it's a good one. And just comes over the head of Jake Dangler, who has scored 5 headed goals in his decorated USL career. This AC Boise team leads the league in that department. Headed goals on the year. Greenville maybe a let off there. Up and over from him all night. Summoned by Mubanor and flushed wide to Lucas Meek. Would he make good a second time? Offers the service and screaming in was Accio. Well, too narrow in his run to cause any problem. How have you felt about the Greenville response after being pegged back so quickly after the breathtaking goal from Lucas Meek to make it 1-1?
I mean, I think they've shown plenty of life. There's clearly tons of room in both final thirds. Both teams not particularly interested in playing much defense here in the first 21 minutes. I think Greenville will certainly fancy themselves to find a second somewhere in this first half. Going into the wind, I think, if we remember those corner flags in this first half.
Dangler almost effortlessly deposits one across the bow of the line of resistance for Greenville, and Brandon Fricke has two-hand shoved. Yeah.
I think if Brandon Fricke hadn't been the captain, I think he might have had himself in the book there. Referee Pexner, I think, has had enough of the nonsense.
It does almost seem like Greenville are inciting some of these incidents. Don't know if that's a strategic thing or if that's just maybe them trying to play with an edge that's been absent.
I was going to say, I think that's one way you can go about it, right? Is try to find a bit of anger. You can be angry as you like about your performances of late, but get out on the field and throw yourself around a bit physically. We mentioned how strong this Boise bench is with 5 starters.
I'll say this, though, as Greenville spun up for a throw-in. If I can tell that that might be what's going on right now, Island Pescanar certainly can, and Greenville probably need to be a little bit more careful.
We'll get another foul. Dave Dixon was complaining about how much Corpus Christi fouled over the weekend. Greenville racking him up early here in the first half, of the first half. I had a good chat with Nate Miller about what he remembered. Obviously, back in 2019, his last ever game with Lansing Ignite was a loss to the Greenville Triumph.
True.
In the League One
Said he
semi-finals.
didn't want to remember that.
He said he didn't. He said they were on his small baseball field in Lansing, and Greenville did a great job of using that field, defending their box tightly. And he said when he went to San Diego, he realized he needed to learn how to beat the low block, and that's when he changed things.
Sign of a really good manager, adapting to the surroundings, and that he is, Nate Miller. Watch the USL on ESPN2 August 1st for a championship battle. Powers teams from the Eastern Conference's first place Tampa Bay Rowdies as they aim to keep the top spot with a win over the reigning Players Shield winners Louisville City. That's Saturday, August 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2.
It's a big one for former Union Omaha coach Dom Cassiato. What a season he's had so far with Tampa.
Rubenor found a way through, but whittling ahead. There's Connor Evans, who's wicked it wide for Zane Bob. He was always falling away and did the best he could to get something into the heart of the box, but out for a goal kick.
And Nate Miller said he does still keep in touch with Brandon Fricke, who was going to play for him on that first ever Lansing Ignite team, the only Lansing Ignite team back in 2019.
It was the only time that season in which Brandon Fricke in the USL League One has not worn the colors of the Greenville Triumph, the league's all-time minutes leader. And although you did say, as Rubenor was able to pick it off, Connor Evans! Evans going for goal, it's 2-2! A festival of goals in the first half here in the Palmetto State. Pick that out.
Listen, Rubenor, his 25-day contract is going to be up very soon. He's done a great job so far, earning a full-time contract, putting the pressure on here, turning the ball over from Dominic Gasso. And one man you can't give the ball to 25 yards out on this Greenville team is Connor Evans. He can strike with the best in the league. And finishes this one with a plumb low to the right of Cleaver.
So sweetly taken for a player that it wouldn't be going too far to say has endured a sophomore slump this year, coming off what were all league accolades a season prior. His first goal in the league comes at a big time. It's presented by the YMCA of Greenville. Oh my goodness, what is happening?
This game is just insanity.
It took them all of 1 minute to equalize the last time. It nearly took 15 seconds this time around.
And it wouldn't surprise any of us if this had got in. Thankfully, Amal Knight was paying just about attention on the edge of his 6-yard box. Seemed to have that one covered.
It's happened once to him already this year against Fort Wayne, a midfield goal like that. Would have stung, I think, a little bit more this time around.
Kind of catch our breath here. What a first half in Greenville. My prediction pregame was 2-2, but it might be out the window at this point.
Rubenor trying to see to that. Oh, it's saved away. It was ballooning towards the top corner before Cleaver picked it off the top shelf.
In fact, it had a little too much air underneath it. Allowed Cleaver to get back there. Still a good quality save, good acrobatic stop with his left hand. Rubenor. Start to his Greenville career so far.
Greenville had not scored in 300 minutes. They are firing on all cylinders now. Corner kick. Outswinger bending away. Fricke waiting on it. Steered towards goal. And kept off the line. Zane Bubb with the final touch, but Cleaver with the final word.
And Brandon Fricke there, he was caught a little flat-footed, couldn't get much pace behind, but almost found, well, did find Zane Bubb, and he almost found the back of the net. Dave Dixon made that move. He talked to us midweek about moving Rubenor up to the front three, and it's worked perfectly so far. Just causing chaos here on this left side.
There was a moment in that Corpus Christi game where the ball got taken off the line.
Poor Lucas Meek got tackled by Luke. Does that count as a tackle?
I don't think so.
He's unlucky.
All night waiting on it. Put himself in a precarious place. Zane Bubb ushers away. I think yeah was offside even if he had been able to reach that ball. A chance to look back at how close Greenville came, and as I was saying, Greenville had a moment like this a week ago, and somehow, it stays out.
I think it was Gasso, perhaps saving his team there from finding him down 3-2. Some weekday mayhem here in USL League One.
Greenville hunting for more. And the binds is worthy of a whistle, apparently. Triumph fans, this one's for you. Before or after the match, swing by Bridgeway Brewing Company, your local sports bar and hangout spot. Catch the action on 15 TVs. Enjoy great food, craft beer, and bowling with your crew. Open 7 days a week in just the place to watch the match and keep the energy going. Proud supporters of the Greenville Triumph. Eat, drink, bowl, stay a while. Jesus Brea. Keegan Euler. Hammered across the goal mouth and plucked from the sky by him all night. Chapo Herrera quickly contested. Muminor on the twist. And shielded from the ball. Good tackle by Yarrow.
This game sort of reminding me of that England-France third place game in the World Cup. I know England got out to the big lead, but it seemed like every time either of these teams gets into the final third, it looks like they're going to find the back of the net.
Things are happening in the upstate tonight on a wacky Wednesday in the USL League One.
It's been a while. Greenville fans have been waiting for this all season.
Really and truly, I implore you to go and take some time now to research when the last time they scored multiple goals Greenville was in a home match. Don't think they've done it in the league game in this venue. Muminor. Dangler steps in. Of course, they did have that 3-0 result against the Cosmos a couple matches back. Greenville, as the foul is called, but you take account of what's been going on for the Triumph, and coming into today, only had the 14 goals, only 6 in the last 13 League One matches, and they scored 2 here in this one.
Yeah, and half of those 6 came on the road at the Cosmos back on Independence Day. Had those 4 against Westchester, but obviously that was back at Furman before they moved in here to G. Vanover Park. This is the 4th league game here, and yes, first time they've scored multiple goals. The 1-0 win over Madison, the 2-1 loss to Alta, and then the 0-0 draw with Sarasota.
Of course, they were scoring for fun when they were playing in the early going this year at Furman at Stone Stadium.
With these kids, it looks like Boise should be playing at Furman.
Fricky. Connor Evans. Already scored 1 today. That's a faulty first touch, though. That lets down Chopper Herrera. Suddenly, Boise can't get out from their own end. Yeah, trying to do something about that. Zigging and zagging, and always the better of that engagement. Brandon Fricky. Home all night, dicing with danger. Pati pushed away. Ricketts stepping in, and Boise lay claim. Infield it goes. Yeah. On a drift, and nobody's there.
Triumph fans, please direct your attention to the video board as we take a moment to thank and recognize.
All right, so we're a half hour in. It's 2-2. Chance to collect your thoughts. Where are we in this game right now, Ross?
in the 32nd minute with 4 goals under our belt. Yeah, it hasn't been a moment to take a breath. It's just been non-stop. Boise with their press have forced Greenville to get out of the back quickly, and once they have got out of there quickly, it's been impressive. Both teams very equal so far in this first half hour plus. Take a look at the stats. Greenville with the edge in shots, 5-2. Both Boise shots have gone in.
Connor Evans getting his first goal of the year. Lucas Meek, a bicycle kick. Berea scoring early on inside the first 5 minutes as another clattering challenge will result
in
a foul call, and you'd have to imagine that might be the first booking.
Yeah, referee Pexner has had enough. I think perhaps this is the one thing Dave Dixon hasn't tried is chaos. It's working so far this evening. Normally, more Boise's thing with their press and their constant possession pressure. Oh yeah, the first one in the book. Let's take a little look at the challenge here.
Ponte eating the contact.
Yeah, seems to be all right. To assume the pace is going to slow down a little bit here the rest of the half, because both of these teams, especially having played on the weekend, obviously Greenville only making the 1 change, they perhaps would like to slow things down a little bit here in these final 13 plus minutes.
I still can't believe Lucas Meek did that.
Dave Dixon has been impressed with Lucas Meek, how he's played this season. It took him a little while to figure out where his best position might be. More of a forward pushing wing, now finding himself at the left wing back spot since Dave Dixon has gone to the 3/5 at the back. Dave Dixon said earlier this season about Meek that he's one of those guys they really have to watch. Really looking forward to him making an impact this season. Dealt with an injury early. Certainly now back flying.
On a hop, Ricketts in combination with Dennis Kostashin. Getting in on the left foot. Sniffed out by Chapa Herrera, who's worked through the press brilliantly. Is now connecting all the dots. Mubanor on the break. Dangler and Azad Liati in the foot race. A cutting challenge as Liati lost his balance, and that's why he will be able to escape without a yellow card.
That's that transition that we spoke about that Nate Miller was so worried about. Mubanor flying with the little combo of Herrera, and he saw the run from Liati. Jake Dangler, the superb bit of defending. Using those long legs to get there in less steps than most people would.
That was a matchup that Dave Dixon called out by name.
He did.
Preparation for this game that they felt like this Greenville group could win if they got Azad Liati in isolation running at Jake Dangler. It's popped up a couple times already, and Dangler's come out the better in each exchange. Of course, it only takes one.
You think there will be one more, at least one more to come, the way this game has been going.
Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DNA, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Here's Azad Liati. Accio in the channel. Good ball to him. Accio has hoisted it high.
Just bounced a little bit of an awkward height for him. Lovely ball into that run. See it bounced off that turf perhaps a little higher than he thought it was going to. Couldn't get his foot on top of it.
Well, William Accio has, coming into today, accounted for 2 of those 5 goals that Greenville have gotten from the others, if you will. They've gotten 2 today, and that has been the difference in this match today.
This is the Greenville triumph that Dave Dixon thought he was going to have at the start of the year with his front 3 flying. Obviously, we thought one would be Deshane Beckford, but he's been out injured for a good while now. Mubanor looking like a very savvy signing. Accio took him a while to get going because of the visa issues. But this is the team that Dave Dixon thought he would have.
It's been a wild one. And it might get wilder still. Yeah! Strong-handed stop from him all night. He thought offside might give him resolution that he wanted, and that's a goal kick, or at least a free kick, but he will have a corner to deal with.
I think he was pretty clearly onside. Berea with the defense splitting pass. Greenville's got to do better with those diagonal balls. Gashed right open there. Lucas Meek pinching in along with Party. Neither of them getting a touch on it. Watching that ball go right by them with the pace from Berea. It was a superb delivery.
And Boise have scored a league-high 8 headed goals this year. All the big boys up from the back. For all the good in this half for Greenville, they need to hold tough here. Away it goes. AC Boise did come into today leading the league in terms of corners taken with 108. That was their first of the match there. Off the chest and stomach down by Ricketts. Up a cul-de-sac. Good counter pressure by AC Boise has won the day though. Gasso unable to untangle himself. Shove straight into the bench. There's not a lot of landing room on this near touchline.
There's not. Certainly one of the features of this new field here at G. Vannova Park. And Greenville do get the foul there. You've got to be careful with these tables in your training gear. think the Boise staff mind losing a Greenville Triumph cooler, but their medical equipment a lot more valuable.
Coming up on the conclusion of a thrilling first half here at GE Vernova Park.
I think Dave Dixon will be a little torn going into the halftime break because the two defensive lapses that led to the goal. Obviously, the second one, a great finish from Kostashin.
I think it's an important point, though. You're looking at a Boise team that have led the league to this point in terms of the percentage of aerial duels that they've won, coming into today at 61.5%. Joint top of the league in terms of the overall percentage of duels that they've won at 51.5%. Yet Greenville are winning enough of these first and second exchanges for them to be in this position, and that was the point that Dave Dixon was making to us in preparation for the game. Just win one more.
Yeah, I think they've done that and more tonight so far. The key is they've got to find that third goal, because it'd be interesting to see what Nate Miller does. He talked about potentially bringing his starters off the bench if need be. If you've got a point on the road, perhaps, is that you bring? He'll certainly use some of them. It depends when he brings them on, what the score is, I think.
Leotti about facing. Scrambling back in defense was Gasso. No foul's going to come there. Lucas Meek!
Don't fancy anything at this point.
It was bending, it was dipping. Ultimately, it's wide. And Kostashin is slow to rise.
Coming out a bit lame there after that challenge. I guess it was 2-2 with a half hour to go. Do you, if you're Nate Miller, do you wait a little bit? Do you wait till if you're 3-2 down with a half hour to go versus 15 minutes remaining? It's 2-2. Be interesting to see how the second half goes. Still 5 minutes remaining here in the first half.
They have a home date against a surging Corpus Christi at the weekend to balance as well. Again, if any team is built to handle it, though, it is this Boise side.
Yeah, certainly one of the deepest rosters in USL League One. It's got deeper with the addition of Perea now.
Think about the likes of Blake Bodley and Nick Moon and Tumi Moshaban, who are all on the bench and available today. Charlie Adams, I basically just named half of the San Diego Loyal roster from 2024. It's a dangerous ball from Chapa Herrera, but it comes good. There's plenty of space to explore. Escapading down the flank, it's Bob off the head of Dangler. Lucas Meek flying back to recover it for Greenville. Chapa Herrera spins one ahead, down by Leotti. Failing to link up with Connor Evans, but because of good effort, will remain with Greenville off a deflection. Chapa Herrera now, hammered in behind, a good bending run from Accio, who can't get the dividend on the plus side of it, as he has lost the ball out over the touchline. Don't miss your chance to rep the Greenville Triumph with our latest merchandise. Head to www.shopgreenvilletriumph.com to gear up with the latest official merch, from kits and scarves to hats and more. Whether you're cheering in the stands or watching at home, show everyone who you support. Get your merch today and wear your green with pride.
You mentioned Blake Bodley earlier. He may have liked that Lucas Meek strike. They used to play together at the University of Washington. What a team that was there. They also had Charlie Ostrom as well as Ryan Saylor.
Sure, Blake will be right at home in this purple strip, the change kit for AC Boise. Of course, Greenville were the original side in the league to wear green, but really beautiful colors for AC Boise, those of choice.
Inspired by the pride, tradition, and passion of Greenville Triumph Soccer. Don't miss your chance to add this must-have piece to your
Just trying to rack my brain and find where the green and purple is in the game globally.
It's just Mardi Gras. That's what you need to know. That's what it reminds me of.
Muminor on his bike and pedaling hard. Lucas Meek creasing in on the right foot, loosing himself. Lucas Meek cut in. Accio stumbling, the back heel doesn't find a way through. Yoro hemmed in and alleviates the pressure by just taking a no-nonsense clearance out of play.
Lucas Meek with a lovely bit of individual play in that left channel.
Oh, and he's still looking for the flare. Guy scores one bicycle kick, and all of a sudden,
Think you can do anything. You're almost a little too unselfish there, trying to find Akia. Perhaps Sher just had a crack with the left foot. Of course, the little space here between the sideline and the bleachers doesn't lend itself to long throws. But see what Zane Bub can get in here.
catapulted in. It hits the ground inside the 6, and it's still not fully dealt with by AC Boise. Clever little ball to the end line. Meek providing a cutback. And as Camilo Fritz was coming back down to earth around that Anthony Patti, the ball is contacted by his head and taken up and over. That ball is a Select ball, and Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship from the grassroots to the pros. Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com. Well, Select products, specials, and more. Ross, remind me, what do they say about Select?
They say it's the player's choice.
That's it. And they have chosen to more than once provide a highlight with it here on this evening.
As you mentioned, things have slowed down a little bit over the last 5 to 10 minutes. Frantic pace of the first half hour of this game, especially with both teams in a long week. Looking to get to the break here without giving up a third, either team.
Of course, correct me if I'm wrong in this trivial pursuit, as a throw-in will come for AC Boise, but Greenville is half of the tandem that made up the highest scoring game in league history those years ago and got South Georgia Tormenta.
I remember exactly where I was then. I wasn't doing that game. It was at Tormenta. It was my former play-by-play man Chris Makoviak's bachelor party at an Inter Miami game. We were just sitting there drinking and wondering when the goals were going to stop going in. He said we're missing a good one. Absolute chaos that night.
Maybe the less said about that evening, the better.
Boise.
We were an Inter Miami game. Not too much trouble you can get into there.
Corner kick. And this might be Greenville getting into trouble here at stoppage time. It belongs to Kostashin. On one occasion has scored, and one occasion provided an assist. He might provide another here. Fricky nearly came up off his hand, but it's away.
That ball was just bouncing tantalizingly there. Waiting for a player in purple to get a foot on it. That's all it would have taken to get past him all night, but Fricky just did enough to knock it out of danger.
Minutes of stoppage time ebbing away. And it's Keegan Euler who's come to this touchline to take the long throw. Fricky wins the ball in the air. Maybe two of the best aerial jousters in the league's history, at odds there between Dangler and Fricky, and they'll go it again as there's a corner coming.
Yeah, those two have been battling in the air for years on set pieces.
The master of ceremonies, Dennis Kostashin. At the back post, saved off the line. It's Zane Bub. Now a look at goal again, and this time it's held by him all night.
Yeah, good power on that back post header. Zane Bub there to save the day for the home team. Josh Yaro at the back post, I think, with that header. Or was it Kroll? Couldn't really see my 5s and 6s. I think it was Kroll for sure.
Smash forward, a ball with intent from Mubanor, joined by Chapa Herrera. Now the cavalry's coming for Greenville. Noor, Yarrow in front of him. Charted in by Chapa Herrera. Hits Lucas Meek in the hand, and the referee's seen it.
It was unlucky there. It was a good touch. Meek just wasn't ready for it, and that'll take us to the break.
A half has happened in the city of Malden, South Carolina. 2 goals scored by each team, each as spectacular as the last, and a breathless frame of play comes to a conclusion. Here as it's 2-2 between AC Boise and Greenville Triumph.
Lucas Meek, what a strike, matching that man's earlier goal. Go to break, 2-2 here, plenty still to play for in this second half.
Much to pick through at halftime as our coverage will commence here in a moment in the Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report. 2-2 is your score after 45 minutes. A have-to-have-it game for the Greenville Triumph. Compelled by that desperation, it's brought a level of performance out of this one that's been hard to miss. Good game taking place. It'll continue in the second half. We'll break it all down here in a moment. In the full swing of the Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report, head spinning first half. Here in Malden, 2-2 is your score and a chance to review the team of the week. As you gotta imagine, there might be a couple players that are on the pitch right now that will be in the next rendition of this. But in the here and now, Jake Krull is the lone participant from our 2 teams for his performance in the last series of games for Boise. Big group here as players are starting to make a big name for themselves, partner, this time of the calendar.
Yeah, lots of talent out there. Give a shout out to Kyle Evans for Westchester. What a season he's had. Certainly be plenty of eyes on him in the second half. And Lee Beedman, Spokane with 3 straight wins now to climb back into the top 4.
As we now pitch it to a look at what is going on the stadium front. AC Boise playing a big part in that in the USL ecosystem, as well as a peek at the USL W League final. Have a look.
They are more than shiny and new. The latest collection of brand new stadiums in USL are a commitment to communities. Fans in Boise have set attendance records. Finishing touches greet the fans in Fort Wayne weekly. In Greenville, Triumph fans are in love with their permanent new home. These projects take time and patience, but nothing gets a community excited like seeing a shovel in the ground. Detroit City of the USL Championship has gone from dreams to renderings to construction. At its recent groundbreaking in Southwest Detroit, Alumni Phi Stadium became a vision for the very near future.
We've been incredibly fortunate to create something that's way bigger than us, and that we have the great fortune of being stewards of it. And the stadium represents really an investment in that community, an investment in this neighborhood, a tremendous investment in the city, and something that will be around for generations to come.
With this stadium, the club is investing in its future and demonstrating a long-term commitment to building a sustainable, community-driven club. I'm excited for what the future holds for Detroit City. I can't wait to be back here for the opening match in 2028. And I want to say congratulations to the fans, supporters, ownership group, and the entire community that made this amazing new home possible.
At 15,000 seats, Alumni Fi raises the bar for Detroit City. Soon there will be more groundbreakings and sounds of stadium construction as USL gets closer to the launch of Premier.
Takes a bounce. First time shot, it's in! The Vermont Green have equalized!
Unreal. Jaw-dropping leveler. Stoppage time drop. Wonderful finish in the USL.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
And Wilson scores! Finally a breakthrough for Louisville City!
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Those folks have gotten a show. Upstate Spine and Sport halftime report. It's 2-2 here in the Upstate. Greenville Triumph up in a position on the offensive end that they just have not been in recent weeks and months. With Ross Davenport, I'm Peyton Gallagher, and this is a look down the road for both of our teams, starting off with Greenville. What is to come? And if Greenville are to climb out of where they are in the cellar region of the table, it will have to start today and then continue at home the weekend against Portland Hearts of Pine.
Yeah, tough run of games here. You never know what you're going to get from Portland. Not great on the road, but then you go at Charlotte, at Madison, one of the hottest teams in the league.
Then on the other side of things, if you look across the galley at AC Boise and what is to come for them, they can pull out points here today, maybe even get a win. They will be in red-hot form as they eye up 2 consecutive home games and a chance for some revenge. It's a forward Madison team that quite frankly embarrassed them not too long ago.
They do also have a friendly on Wednesday, August 12th against Sporting FC from Costa Rica.
There you have it. Then way to the reigning champions, One Knox, a team that, if AC Boise can continue to do what they're doing, they'll maybe be eyeing One Knox at the top of the table at that point in time. So very exciting stuff coming down the line for both these teams. But for now, we check in with Dan Lucas on a look around the USL. Take a peek.
Optimism isn't sunshine and rainbows. It's fixing things, changing the way we fix things. Rolled up sleeves, breaking through, growing power to meet growing needs, working to run the world on smarter energy every day, taking power where the grid's never been, then getting up and doing it again. Because if optimism never stops, then change can't either. GE Vernova, the energy of change.
Soy María, una de las asistentes que habla español aquí en Johnston Orthodontics. Estamos listos para brindarle un servicio excepcional y estar con usted en cada paso de su viaje dental. Llámanos y programa tu cita hoy.
Your family's safety starts with knowing that severe weather is coming. Early and accurately, right at rush hour. The Fox Carolina First Alert Weather Team prepares you when and where to expect storms, what to do next.
FIFA World Cup is on Fox Carolina.
Carolina Panthers, Atlanta Braves, Charlotte Hornets, Carolina Hurricanes, Greenville Drive, Greenville Triumph, Greenville Swamp Rabbits, and more. They all play here. Palmetto Sports and Entertainment, Channel 21.2 with antenna, Spectrum 703.
Bueno, soy colombiana, de Medellín específicamente. Todos los televisores están en la calle, están por fuera. La gente con sus camisas, pintadas las caras y con la alegría, por supuesto, de que este mundial, la Copa, llegue, por supuesto, a Colombia.
Triumph.
Yeah, moving on, picking the pocket of Dominic Gasso, beating the best ball striker on the Greenville Triumph. Connor Evans making sure, and there's your stats at the half. 9 total shots on target. Both keepers have made a couple of decent saves as well. This one could easily be 3-3. Plenty of fun to look forward to here in the second half, especially once Boise goes to the bench. 5 starters on the bench for Nate Miller.
They will trade halves, and as a neutral, you just hope that they leave on the same page of the page-turning novel they left off on. 2-2, Greenville Triumph, AC Boise, again with Ross Davenport. I'm Peyton Gallagher, and this is where the good get going. This time of year, Greenville currently in their position well off the playoff pace. They need points. AC Boise, with all the momentum and updraft, they would like to continue this good run of form as they spree away into the second half of their inaugural campaign. It looks like a shuffling of the deck for Nate Miller, as a couple of the familiar faces in the first team will be thrust in. It's Nick Moon coming on. He will be joined by the midfield metronome, that is Philip Mayaka, who far and away is leading the league for outfield players in ball recoveries. He is so often, for AC Boise, the cork in the bottle.
Not sure how long we'd have to wait for Nate Miller to make subs in the second half, but it looks like we won't have to wait at all. 2 quality substitutes coming off the bench here. Mayaka come and try and shut down this Greenville offense from his pivot position.
It's Jonathan Ricketts who makes way on the right-hand side for AC Boise. Opens up that avenue for Nick Moon to come on. Moon, very 2-footed player, can play on the left or the right. We'll see if it is the right, but that would be the like-for-like swap. Mayaka coming on to replace Dominic Gasso, who's put in a lot of minutes as of late.
And nice little relationship with Dennis Kostashin earlier this season when they were playing on that side. See if they can get that going again here in the second half.
It sets up an interesting contrast in this game. Greenville so thoroughly compelled by what can only be described as desperation at this point to hit the lofty heights that this organization expects from their team. Boise trying to prove that maybe they are a great team, a real contender this year, taking the best punch an opponent can offer and coming through that. So much to play for over this next 45 minutes that is now thoroughly swinging to life.
Greenville with those games in hand, many of the teams above them. This is one of the games picking up the other game tonight. Madison against Chattanooga, that one's just underway in Wisconsin.
Jake Dangler hounded and nearly pressed into an error by Azad Liati. Greenville do appear unchanged out of the intermission. So Ross, you've seen almost every Greenville game today in their time at USL League One, 7 years now. Is that goal, that bicycle kick goal from Lucas Meek, the greatest goal in Greenville history in your estimation?
I think it has to be up there. Lion McKinnon scored a couple of bangers. Brandon Fricke's one this year, earlier this year, was one of those ones where he sort of yelps as well. But I think Lucas Meek one might beat them all. He's not as good these days. I might have to go watch a couple back tonight when I get home, just to make sure. But Lucas Meek's certainly up there.
Floated in, Mubanor. And that is a ball that Boise didn't win consistently in the first half. Outside the area, already seeing the offering of skill from Philip Mayaka. Berea checks the rearview mirror and now throttles along, rolling forward for Kostashin, who couldn't get out from underneath his boot. Now Zane Bubb striding out the other way, making only his second start in the league this year. Missed the bulk of the early going with injury. Akio back in by Bubb. It hung high before being caught by Jonathan Cleaver. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. And when you get the opportunity to see what we've seen so far here today, I don't know why you wouldn't turn up to the ground.
Yeah, I think there might be a few Greenville Trent fans wishing they'd made the trip out tonight. As for that other game we were talking about, Madison have taken an early lead. Ryan Carmichael in the 7th minute.
Two of the hottest teams in the league exchanging blows in that one between Madison and Chattanooga Red Wolves. Red Wolves were the other team in the division that were so far behind in terms of the games played in accompaniment to Greenville. Who today step into this one in tandem with Chattanooga, having played the fewest in the division.
And the assist on that Carmichael goal from the other Carmichael. No relation.
Thank you for clearing that up. Akio. That's a sly little ball down the line, even if Camilo Fritz will not be able to arrive.
If you've heard Ryan Carmichael talk with his thick Irish accent, you'll understand there's no relation. But both key parts of this recent Madison run, if they can keep that up to date.
And of course, Red Wolves able to get points off some of the league's elite as of late, beating one Knoxville in that in-state derby. Also able to beat AV Alta, playing as well as anybody. It's so fascinating that the league can contain teams of such extremity. You think of a team like Chattanooga, a team like a Forward Madison who does it a very different way, are very physical and explosive and score a lot of corner kick goals. And then on the other side of the coin, you've got teams like AV Alta and AC Boise trying to play this fluid, liquid stuff where they contain the ball and dominate games with possession. It's just fascinating how the league has evolved. Azad Liati, no way through as it's flapped out by Jake Krull. It will be a corner kick.
It's always interesting talking to the coaches that will discuss with us why they decided to play the way they do, whether it's what the talent they have at their disposal, or just the frustration in breaking down low blocks, like Nate Miller talked about.
Connor Evans has shown brightly with quality on occasion in his first 2 years in the Palmetto State. Certainly did in the first half here in this one. He provides service. Outswing corner kick. Beaten back by Dangler. Retraced by Camilo Fritz and Mubanor. Nowhere to go but back to him all night. Boise extend up the field. Connor Evans.
Just about kept it in play, I think.
Zane Bubb on the receiving end.
Still up there from the set piece.
Oh, turned back in, and Akio has mismeasured his shot. It's always going to be a tough one from that angle with so little time.
Good work from St. Bob, hanging out up there. Playing a little wing, good cross in for Akio. Snatched it a little bit, trying to beat Cleaver near post.
It's been chaotic by Greenville, but it has almost fallen in their favor that the game has been played that way. They're stepping up in high strides to press AC Boise. Could leave them exposed. Berea leaking out. And that was the big thing for Dave Dixon. Boise are so lethal whenever they are in a place where they can go out to in and start to play those balls on a diagonal axis into the block of an opponent. Greenville wanted to make sure they stayed straight and narrow throughout, and almost all of these direct passes from Boise have come on the vertical axis and not the horizontal one.
It's going to be an interesting second half for Dave Dixon tactic-wise. He'd obviously love to get that win. Got to be careful pushing bodies forward against a team of this much talent.
Kostashin. Nick Moon twisting. Euler. First real time we've seen AC Boise set up camp in the final third, really since the first 10 minutes or so. Washing wide for Lucas Meek. He's had swagger in his step today. Greenville's two best attacking threats have been Mubinur and Lucas Meek. Champa Herrera. Connor Evans left a little bit shy of him. Yeah, can't bend free of Brandon Fricky. Left in the lurch a little bit. Fricky will win the second ball and then win the third and then win a throw.
A foul out of it instead. Risky stuff for Brandon Fricky. He does love to step up into that final third occasionally. It's a little more risky when you've only got three at the back. Kimito Fritz has been sitting a little further back than Lucas Meek has in this game so far, giving a little extra protection if needed.
A punchy tackle from Champa Herrera has it out for a Boise throw.
It's going to be interesting tactically for Nate Miller. Would he be happy with the point on the road after all the travel troubles? Obviously bringing on these subs as early as he did, perhaps he wants that 3 points. We'll see how the second half goes on, see if he ends up using his attacking options on the bench.
A special thank you to our food partners for helping fuel the Greenville triumph throughout the season and supporting our players on and off the field. Whatever they gave them before the game today.
I was going to say it might be a certain cereal, but I don't think anybody eats that anymore.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Frosted Flakes?
Stop.
They're great.
I'm sure they are. Somebody maybe had their Wheaties today. Lucas Meek, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. What's a Wheatie?
That's for Greenville on the bench. They do, we mentioned earlier, they do have Devin Boyce, Rodrigo Robles. There's Ivan Ajakwa, who could plug some holes in the middle, clog things up a bit. So Greenville get that lead. So they'd so dearly love to have.
Mayaka, you just instantly feel his steadying force in the midfield. Bit of a risky ball, but it will be made to stick by Yaya. He was wriggling through the tackles. Left wide for Euler. Fritz puts himself in his way and wins a foul.
Mentioned Portland coming to town on Saturday. They've only won one of their last 8 away games this season. They've given up goals in bunches on the road.
Strange year for them.
It has been a very up and down season. They didn't want to get from that team. They looked like world beaters one week and then very, very normal. Lost to Westchester 5-1 last month. Was last time out to this AC Boise team in their last road game.
Heartbreaker in that one.
Yeah, I mean, they're 1-0 with a handful of minutes remaining.
I think it was the final kick of the game that Boise won that one. Clean and in chorus. AC Boise on the ball. Berea infield to Yaya. Squirts through to Kostashin. Pati the only man in front of him. Dennis Kostashin. Nick Moon working his way into the danger area. Mayaka first time. Oilers up for it straight. And a Molnai. Big sigh of relief for him.
Good job of Euler there, getting enough on that to make Amal Knight make a save. It looked like it was just more of a hopeful ball in from Mayaka initially.
Kostashin tethering first touch. Doesn't make it very far beyond that. Chaparral looking up in space. Lasering ahead as Dangler loses his footing. Accio in for it. Don't think there was a foul to be played there on advantage. They're really going in for the tackles. Zane Bob diving in now. Greenville maybe a little bit out of shape, struggling to get back behind the ball.
We'll say Greenville, since his goal, have done a great job of limiting Jesus Pereira's impact in this game. He doesn't have much to do. Of course, he's got one of those guys that can just pop up and change a game in a heartbeat, though. And he's now on the ball.
As Boise start to build tempo, they just grow in that lethality. Hoofed along to Mayaka. When the groove comes to them, they become one of the most dangerous attacking outfits in the league. They are starting to lay the beat down. And that breaks it right up. Foul called.
Chattanooga have equalized in the other game tonight out of Wall 8 with the goal.
Boise have scored 17 second half goals. That is third most in the league. Really, it's only in that place because when you look at what Portland and Union Omaha are doing in that regard, it's all-time marks. They tend to wear teams down. AC Boise.
Greenville could manage to win this game. For the first time in 17 games since when they've conceded first. The last time they won a game going behind was back against Chattanooga on the 22nd of June, 2025. They're 0-7, 7 losses this year and giving up the first goal.
In the moment, that really did seem that game like it was going to be the spark that turned Greenville's season around and got them back into the playoff hunt. Ultimately, they fell short of that objective. Could something similar, though, be on offer in terms of a morale boost in this game? Perea attaching himself. Mayaka. Boise starting to pry away and find bigger pockets of space. Moon. It was a pretty snaky ball. He was looking to play between lines, but Greenville pick up the pieces and get going. Liati goes down, and that's a bit of a bailout foul to give.
Yeah, the ball should have been played in the inside channel to Accio. I know he had some competition in purple there, but that would have been the better idea. But Liati got fouled after the pass, gets bailed out. Starting the second half like we started the first half a little bit.
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches, USL MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157, the Sirius XM app. Greenville drawing the bow back on a Connor Evans free kick.
I did watch USL All Access earlier today. Some great talk about Atletico Dallas and their signing of Chicharito.
Boise have only allowed 3 set-piece goals. That is the second lowest mark in the league. It is well charted. It takes a skip. It's still on. Fricky arriving. It doesn't get there. Liati launches a mile-over goal and into the parking lot.
It's a tantalizing ball, and you can see Boise having a discussion about how they defended that floated free kick to the far post. It wasn't particularly well. Liati with a half chance, just snatching at it a little bit and putting it over. A little knock back across from Kimito Fritz. Fricky was in the vicinity. Liati had a little more time than he thought he did. Mayaka was there, but not pressing particularly hard.
Speaking of pressing, it's Evans who wins it. It's Liati on the ball. Azad Liati! A Goliath Greenville goal! It's author Azad Liati 22!
He didn't snatch at that one. Another turnover in the final third by Greenville and turned into a third goal on the night. That man's happy. Liati, that's what he was brought in to do. Shrugged off the challenge of Mayaka. Fine finish through the legs of Dengler. Past another despairing effort from Cleaver.
Just a staggering game. And Azagliati, at the stroke of the hour mark, has given Greenville what they so desperately need. A third goal, and on the push for all 3 points.
That's going to bring on a couple of studs off the bench for Nate Miller and Blake Bodley. And Tumimo Shaban. Bodley going to go to the right-hand side.
Tumimo Shaban, no stranger to the Greenville triumph. So often was the marquee man in that first year for the Lansing Ignite. Saw Greenville a couple times that year. Zagliati's hungry for more. Just off the foot. Jonathan Cleaver would be the least bit surprised if a second one came in quick succession in this half.
They'll bring Moon over to the left. Bodley spent most of his time on the right, on the left this season, but he'll go on the right. As you see Devin Boyce ready to come in.
Just as this game was reaching pinnacle chaos.
A man who can just add more to it.
Bouncing bundle of blondness and brightness for Greenville triumph at the ready. For Zagliati, that is his first goal since the first goal at GE Vernova Park against Forward Madison. They're coming all the way back on June 3rd.
He had that early brace as well. That's what he can do. Zagliati, when he's healthy, give him half a chance and he'll finish. This man too, though.
Tumimo Shaban. Tumimo Shaban. Wide for Berea. Moshaban grappling it back. And it looks as if they've gone strikerless here, AC Boise. The 3 pinnacle and prime creators on the field at the same time, as that is a nasty tackle from Musa Enya, and the card is out. Its color is yellow as Zagliati is struggling hugely.
Yeah, crunching challenge from Enya. He had one just a couple of minutes ago as well. Not quite to that degree.
Devin Boyce will take this offering of a window to inject himself. See you, Dave Dixon hooks.
I looked like it was going to be Akio for a second. Now we got some, I got some confusion. Who's coming off? Akio looked like he was.
Dave Dixon right there, marshaling his troops from the front line. Looks like Dave Dixon has thought better of the initial thought of the change, but because of that, their alteration to that plan, it will have to wait for now.
Yeah, Lucas Meek was grabbing his leg right before halftime. I wasn't sure if we were going to see him after the break, but he certainly had some work done on that leg.
He's up for the header there. It comes back to him. Akio swatting at it. And out for a throw. They won't make the change yet, or maybe they will. It is Lucas Meek Day done. His bicycle kick goal may have just jump-started the heart of this Greenville season in the first half to equalize and erase the early deficit. But his day comes to a close with he being replaced by Devin Boyce. That is our Upstate Spine and Sport adjustment of the match, and it is a big roll of the dice for Dave Dixon because it's likely a change of shape.
Yeah, Boyce quite comfortable either on the left or right. See where he slots in.
Maybe that means Mubanor drops back to wing back. He's straight into the fray. Devin Boyce. The cutback is cut out, and it is a corner kick to come.
Yeah, that change certainly would make sense. Boyce more of an attacking option. Moore will have worked hard tonight. Potentially drop back a little bit, try and protect this lead. See if they can double it here.
He's been dealing with injuries in various spells throughout the course of the year. Turned into full action in a critical stage here. There is a bit of a buzz building ahead of this corner kick as Greenville look to lengthen the lead. Connor Evans, a goal and an assist already. Man down in the box, it's a Greenville player. Sanliati was tangled.
Blake Bodley and Liati going at it.
Attention fans, this is your last call. Concession and alcohol sales will conclude at the 75th minute of tonight's
Bodley
match.
just back from injury a couple of games ago.
Prepped and ready finally. So too is Connor Evans, who hustles it in. At the back post, knocked on. A hit on the half volley, and Fritz has flung it high. Scouting ball up and over the top. Berea providing pursuit, a tug of the shirt, advantage being played. Fritz got all the way back after his miss and tracked that down. Making way is Mubanor. Another good tackle by Josh Yarrell. Left it in a tough spot and it backspins off for a corner. Devin Boyce already making an impact.
Yeah, doing what he does, putting people under pressure, getting about the pitch. Forcing a corner here. Greenville look to extend their lead. Big Boys coming in the box now. Bob and Fricky.
If there are laurels to rest on for Greenville, can't imagine they're particularly sturdy. Don't think you'd feel good only up the single goal against this Boise team.
No.
In by Connor Evans, knotted down, and a sprawling stop at full stretch. Cleaver will grab it.
Yake was being well defended. He should just hold his ground and get enough on that header to at least force a save out of Cleaver.
Bouncing right through tackles, Miyaka. That low center of gravity makes him so difficult to deal with, but his ball is biteless in the end. Make plans to join the Triumph on August 1st for Community Impact Night, presented by Hughes Agency. Supported by Bridgeway Brewing Company, celebrating the organization's volunteers and community partners whose dedication makes the Upstate a stronger place to live, work, and play. Enjoy a night of soccer, community, and local pride at GE Vernova Park. Get your tickets at GreenvilleTriumph.com. Of course, it would feel a lot better if Greenville were trying to make it 2 wins on the skip in that occasion. They are well on their way. They were down 1-0. They were down 2-1. They lead 3-2. Chapa Herrera. Might one of these Greenville players add their name to the list of goal scorers? Mubanor and Azad Liati! It looked like it was going to go up in lights, but instead it's Cleaver who dives right on top of it.
The ball came into Liati so quickly. All he had a chance to do was sort of slice it with the outside of his foot and hope it found the far post. Just didn't quite catch it as perfectly as he would have liked to. It came off the deflection there. But enough good contact, but not far enough to the side of Cleaver.
That being said, Greenville have put more meaningful chances on goal in this game, especially if you exclude last match against Corpus Christi, and it feels like they did in the entirety of the month previous.
And outshot Boise 15-8 now. 1.52 XG to 0.86.
I think most imperatively, 7 of the 15 shots for Greenville have been on target.
Listen, 24 touches in the opponent's box. That's 3 times more than Boise has. They really haven't had tons of visits into Greenville's 18-yard box since the early part of this game.
I think maybe the part that is the most head spinning at this point is since the go-ahead goal 10 minutes ago for Zadliati, the lack of forward progress for AC Boise is somewhat surprising. They struggled to grip the game following that concession.
Yeah, they've had the better percentage in the second half, 57.8%. Just 2 penalty area entries to Greenville's 14 in the second half.
No handball call coming. Greenville playing with the necessary urgency as the ball is lost, but the foul is called. Swirled to this near side for Zane Bupp, who's hot-footing into the attacking half again. Akio angling to the corner. Grappled back by Krul. Akio repressing and winning for Greenville. Chapa Herrera. Connor Evans on a dime. Still Connor Evans. The only man who could stop him was him.
Yeah, Connor, I think it was just caught in, I think, 4 or 5 minds about what to do there. That wanted to crack it first time, have another couple of dribbles, cross it, and then ended up just tripping himself over the ball.
Don't miss your chance to rep the Greenville Triumph with our latest merchandise. Head to www.shopgreenvilletriumph.com for the latest kits, scarves, and more. Wear green with pride and rep the Greenville Triumph today. Again, you can go to the team's website to get fully outfitted. Working on the wide side, AC Boise. They are the ones that are carrying the mission. Winners of 4 consecutive games in all competitions, 3 straight in the league. They've won 6 of their last 8. They are in real jeopardy here. It looked like it was all going to go their way without many obstacles after they scored in the 5th minute. Greenville have answered every call. Fricky, chief among them in that particular regard. Akio. He is just pirouetted away from Moshaban. And he's still fighting. Advantage there for Zadliati. Showed too much of the ball to Jake Dangler, and the advantage had expired.
Good work by Akio there, not giving up. Continuing his momentum.
One more change to make for Nate Miller. Thomas Among looks to be the one who is up and readying. Come in tow for Blake Bodley. In from deep. Just about poked away by Zane Bupp. Rounding the corner towards the box. Ripped in, Amal Knight needed to hold it, and he did.
The ball whipped in by, I think it was Blake Bodley. Amal Knight hasn't been tested too much tonight, but passed the test there. Bodley skipping past Boyce. I think he was almost going to shoot it, or at least just put it into the danger area and see if somebody could get a touch on it.
Blake Bodley did score last game. It was a penalty. Goals now in back-to-back after none in 11 straight in the league.
Goals flying into Madison. 2-2 now as well there. Wednesday wackiness, as you said, Peyton. All sorts of fun here. You can tune over to that one after this one's finished. That was an hour start behind this one, so plenty of action still to go at Breeze Stevens.
I present to you the United Soccer League.
We certainly do get these nights on occasion. Matt Bentley, and guess who? Peyton Kefrala Toure with the equalizer for Forward Madison, FAU's very own. His 3rd goal in as many games.
Rainbowing in over the top. Not cued away just yet, and Brandon Fricky will hold his nerve. It was just Boyce and Liati who were up there, and Boyce is still hammering down. And yeah, quarter hour left.
This game has flown by. I just looked up at the time. It's only 15 minutes remaining as Boise now starting to turn the screw a little bit here. Push bodies forward, looking for this equalizer.
Moshaban. Mayaka. Berea. It looked like he was split in 2 minds about whether or not he might just try and seek Nick Moon 3. Have the shot himself. It will be a change. Rodrigo Robles will come on. Replacing William Akio and Thomas Among. Sent in to replace Musa Enya. So that is every attacking ambition that AC Boise can throw at this problem, really.
I was going to say, Among for a defensive midfielder. That tells you Nate Miller wants that point. Thomas Among been playing very well of late. Goal and assist in his last 2 games. Goal and 3 assists, excuse me, in his last couple of games. Starting to really get things going. Former championship man.
That is a J&J Repairs, Roofing, and Renovation substitution for the Greenville Triumph, coming in here in the 77th minute of play. Trying to reinforce and buttress this Greenville team. Dave Dixon. Zagliati is the one who gave Greenville the lead. He looks to extend it. The shot in the end, though, is harmless. For a goalkeeper who's conceded 3 today, Jonathan Cleaver has been pretty sturdy in that.
This is his first save of the night. That was their 4th shot on target.
No.
3 of them have gone in. Sorry, in the second half. Sorry, 3 shots on target.
Don't short the man.
It's been 7 shots on target for Greenville. Certainly his most comfortable one of the night.
He had 4 saves again against the Cosmos last game. Those were his most in a league match in 10. He's matched that here tonight. Fortunately for him, it's not been the same outcome. Where 2 goals were good on that occasion against the Cosmos to get the win. It will not be here today.
Big interception by Zane Bubb. Ball was heading towards Jesus Perea in a very dangerous spot.
Jake Krull, who is the league's all-time touch leader, currently leading the league this year.
I love that stat.
Passes as well, as you would expect. Dangler, all-league performer from a year ago, that with FC Naples. Plenty of battles down the years with Greenville. Nick Moon stabbed along as Aliani just losing out. This is much more like the accustomed AC Boise. Dancing out of a tackle or 2. There's Blake Bonnelly. Being invited forward by Mayaka. Lofted down towards Nick Moon. Just jabbing at the backside of Camilo Fritz, who fails to get clear. It's a throw-in to come, but it belongs to Greenville.
Yeah, he's done a good job tonight. Camilo Fritz coming back into the starting lineup. He's done a great job all season. Not expected to be a starter for Greenville this year. DJ Benton and Toby Sims at right back as well. Sims obviously still making his way back from ACL.
USL Championship and League One are on the CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to the league website for more.
Totally disappointing from the Boise native. Time and space, you'd expect him to do a little better than that.
They've not really troubled that man in goal all night in this half.
It's only their 2nd shot in this second half. They haven't really done a ton since these subs have come on. These very dangerous subs, normally starting for Nate Miller, like Samoon and Moshaban, and now Thomas Among on as well. But you think Kamal Knight's probably going to have to make at least one good save here the rest of the way. These purple bodies are going to start flooding forwards, and Howdy down again.
He's grabbing at his head, which would open up an extra substitution for both teams.
Yeah, speaking of head injuries, Greenville obviously still missing Leo Castro from his head injury. I know a recent setback. Dave Dixon thinking that's a head issue.
Ivan Achankwa was already up and ready. Not sure if he was preordained to come in for Azadliani or not. With Akio off the field, that would leave Greenville pretty much without any kind of striker to be seen or heard from.
Yeah, listen, Robles will run around there for 15 minutes or so, causing
fair enough
chaos with some tired Boise legs. Now he seems to be feeling that challenge a bit more than we thought perhaps he initially would.
Well, if it stands, he is the hero. His goal in this second half, the only one, after 4 in the first frame. Offensive outburst from the Greenville Triumph, all 3 of which have been dazzling in quality.
Looks like it will be it for Liati.
To the end of the line arrives Razad Liati with just a little less than 10 minutes left to it. Ivan Ajakwa brings his sturdy and trusty frame into the mix.
Good little physical presence to have in the middle.
Shirt tucks, always prim and proper and squared away.
Best dressed man in USL League One. Yeah, Liati went 90 in that Corpus Christi game on the weekend. That was the first time he'd gone 9 in a while. Missed a few starts due to injury.
Lucas Mika bicycle kick, one of the great goals in Greenville history. Then Connor Evans smacking one in from outside the 18. Azad Liati liked the look of it, so he tried it himself and did the same. Jesus Berea on his starting debut with AC Boise.
So Boise over to the right now. He's following Blake Budley over there, who's also now on the left side.
This will be an examination of Greenville's composure and compulsion to get this done. Hooked in, Among, had a bite. Dangerously headed back to him all night.
Beautiful ball, and Among just couldn't get his toe to it to bring it down.
He does have 4 goal contributions in the last 3 appearances in all competitions, Thomas Among, and in the words of his manager, Nate Miller, just a little push. They've wanted to see more from him for a while, and he's finally showing up the way that they hoped he might.
Yeah, he did admit that he hasn't seen perhaps what he'd like to have seen from Among, obviously with quite the championship pedigree.
He did get into camp a little bit late, was only announced as a signing on March 19th, but he's got a whole head of steam now. The last man that Greenville want to see with the ball in the box. Wriggling down the line. Moshaban muscled back to Mayaka. Got to make up his mind. Ball just stays stuck to him. Magnetized from the midfielder. Yarrow. Rolling along. It's Moon. It's headed on. Bodley and he had traded flanks, the wing backs. That almost mixed Greenville up.
It was a good thing he got that touch too, because it was 2 players in Among and Bodley waiting at the back post. Madison feel like they're missing out on the goals. They've now taken a 3-2 lead to match us here. Balls flying in everywhere.
Hopefully no preamble on the Greenville persuasion for what is to come. Jesus Perea heaving in. Header's there. And it's well over frame, but it's because it was taken there by a Greenville head. Another corner. Unbearable anxiety starting to really spin up.
See Brandon Fricky looking for some instructions from the sideline about how to defend this corner. Did a good job there getting bodies in between the header and the goal. Time running out here for Boise.
Flat out and into the area. Didn't clear the first hurdle. Again and again and again. Boise knock on the door. In by Berea. Out this time off a Boise player. I believe that was Thomas Among.
Referee Pexler telling Amal Knight not to waste any time. Get that ball down. Of course, a savvy veteran like Knight will know how to push everything to the limit here when it comes to time wasting in a gentlemanly manner.
High into the night sky. Headed back to Jake Krul. Blake Bodley now on the near side. Steaming ahead. Kostashin retains it. Another tackle by Brandon Fricky. Robles running towards the corner. Maybe with it the finish line. Drags cool down. Still tension in the tie, absolutely.
Brandon Fricky, our player to watch tonight, stepped up 6 clearances.
First time he's been face to face with Nate Miller, the man who gave him his start, in 7 years. They've kept in contact. It's the first time they've been in the same place at the same time. I have a feeling he might not want to see him again for a while after this. Fritz tracking the ball, it still gets the bodily. Unforked across that all night was all over. Fritz is struggling now. Stretching ahead is Chapa Herrera. Off a bounce, it hung up. A little bit harrowingly for Cleaver before he cleared it. And now, it looks like another Greenville player is ailing. Impromptu yoga class near touchline. Chapa Herrera and Fritz. It's been an exhausting evening.
Chapa with a slight grimace. Obviously missed time earlier this season, injured.
Dave Dixon has
every minute since
talked
getting
about
healthy.
how they have wanted to get him more rest and just haven't been able to because of the lack of depth. The amount of desperation in every game for Greenville these days. Flushed in over top, another menacing collision.
Chapa Herrera is going to have a word here with Thomas Among. The elbow was out. Connor Evans upset as well. Zainab feeling that bit of contact.
You know things are really boiling over when Brandon Fricky is the one playing soothsayer.
So that's a bit of frustration by Thomas Among. He hasn't been on the pitch long, but let's take a look at it here.
Oof. Don't think there's any ill intent in it, but it is a real hardy tackle and a big pump knock probably on the head of Zane Bob.
It wasn't perhaps as bad as it looked in real time, but Mal might out to have a word.
That'll be a yellow, 4th of the year for Thomas Among.
It was certainly reckless. I'm not going to say it was bordering on dangerous, but certainly reckless from Among.
Greenville have taken a really good approach here to just laxing the game, managing the game. Boise have not been able to build any kind of lather up in their pursuit of an equalizer as Bump is still down.
He'll certainly take his time here, give his teammates a little bit to rest. Zane Bump, another one dealt with injuries earlier this season, but has come in nicely into this 3 centre-back spot. Mentioned they've given up the fewest shots in the USL League One coming into this season. Obviously, they played the fewest amount of games too, only 15. Still, Zane Bump feeling that challenge a little bit. Put him in the elbow too. A little bit of turf burn, perhaps.
Connor Evans also given a booking for his involvement in the fracas.
Substitution for Boise in the 89th minute. Entering the match, number 6, Charles Adams.
Charlie Adams coming on. Boise allotted that extra substitution because of the head injury that saw Liotti leave the game. Kostashin, the one who makes the spot for him. Very experienced man, that Charlie Adams. And with Nate Miller, multiple stops along the road. 11 seasons for him in the USL Championship, 230 appearances. Looks like we will cross the threshold of the 90th minute before Kamal Knight will usher this to the other end. At least thereabouts.
Yeah, Charlie Adams hasn't played a ton this season. See Zane Bump still getting worked on getting that elbow strapped up.
Evan Lee does have the match shirt on now. Who can play that right-sided center back.
Not a bad man to bring on.
It seems as though Liotti is, rather that Amal Knight, I should say, has conveniently left the ball a little bit too far afield.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Making tracks before sending it long, and we're into 6 minutes of stoppage time. What a touch from Devin Boyce. The pass didn't match, though.
Blake Bodley having to track back, and I think Dave Dixon will be okay with that if Blake Bodley's having to track back inside his own final third.
Driving to the ball is Anthony Patti, who booms it out of play. They've changed the stoppage time, so I suppose the fourth official displayed a 6 when he meant a 9.
Probably hadn't taken consideration that last bit of delay there.
Charlie Adams charged in and immediately ushered away.
10% free soccer, but I don't think the Greenville fans will be too happy with it.
It'll take nearly 100 minutes. But Robles might be up for the job. Mubanor. He had Robles free and clear on the left-hand side, but he went for glory.
Yeah, tired shot there from Muba. He's worked hard all night as he looks for that extended contract.
Zane Bub is back in on the action. Still Evan Lee stands on guard and ready. Bodley reflecting down the line. Bub's going to have to get there out of Among and does. Those two come together again and there are sparks.
It's good work from Zane Bub. He knew the only way Among was going to get to that post to go through the back of him. Bodley disagreeing with the decision. Evan Lee coming on.
And it's Connor Evans who makes way. So Evan Lee will be the park ranger in the middle. He has been party to one or a few big Greenville moments down the years. Connor Evans with maybe his best performance of the season coming off. Hadn't had a goal contribution all year long. He has 2 today, and that might be what flips Greenville's season. Bustling into the midfield is Mayaka, who's trundled through by Mubanor. Wide it goes for Mubanor. Evan Lee. Left off for Zane Bub, and now Camito Fritz. There's a bump, there's a foul. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Greenville Triumph.
And most importantly, another good chunk of time off the clock. Again, on the preferred side for a left footer. Chopper over it though, as well as Devin Boyce, who can strike these.
Has scored a set piece goal or 2 in his time in the USL League One. Him and Choppa, in a way, going for goal, almost the most sensible approach, because the only outcomes are it either goes off frame and goes out for a goal kick and you get to get back, or it goes in the net and you're 2 goals to the good and feeling great. Limits the potentiality of a counterattack. Even if that were the case, though, it doesn't look like Greenville are committing many bodies to this.
No. I can see his Robles on the edge of the box. Perhaps they just pull it back, take even more time off here.
Chopper Herrera. They've choreographed a course to the corner. And cleared off the end line by Barea. Fritz. Chopper Herrera summons it, just brings it right under a spell. But has committed a foul, and he and Miyaka are going right at it. Yellow card straight out.
Yeah, been building for Chopper Herrera. That was coming for a while. I don't think you'll mind, though, taking it. Takes more time. Yep, more time off the clock.
It should be said this is the first meeting between these two teams, and I don't think there will be much love lost the next time. Cleaver into the build. AC Boise compelled.
Chopper's 6th yellow card of the season, so a couple away from a suspension.
Adams, Devin Boyce snipping at his heels. Krul and Mayaka. Biggest 4 minutes of Greenville's season. Mayaka, Evan Lee had the reading of him. Mubanor. Another arresting tackle by Yarrow. Winging wide for Jake Krul. Advancing now, AC Boise. Headway being made. Bodley at the end line. Fritz just got enough of the ball. And maybe he didn't. Puts Bodley off, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, no complaints from Boise. Not sure that's what Kamita Fritz had in mind, but it worked nonetheless. Take another look at it here. Looking for the backdoor pass. Yeah. Fritz was pretty confident he didn't get a touch on it. Referee agreed.
Heading to the end of the line. Dave Dixon might need a manicure after this game.
I don't think he'll need a manicure. He's got any nails left.
Headed high by Dangler. Long, unable to rise higher than Zane Bupp. But it caroms back to Bodley. Unleashes a ball ahead. Stabbed away by Brandon Fricky.
Who else?
And it's Robles off to the races. Still Rodrigo Robles. Robles off the post. Could Greenville rue that miss?
I didn't think he needed to rush it like that. He had time to take another couple of touches into the box and finish calmly. Decided to hammer it. Try to catch Cleaver off guard. Almost did, but off the inside of the post and away.
In a season of nearly, a nearly moment for Greenville. It may not matter though. Mubanor running at full speed to arrive, and it's a goal kick nonetheless. This is how close Rodrigo Robles was to really ending this thing. Dead where it was.
Did have Jake Kroll bearing down on him. That second look.
Boise have generated almost nothing since falling behind, and that will not change, at least in the immediate sense.
Not much urgency from them at all in these last 5 or 10 minutes.
Looks like that may have come off of Robles' hand, but advantage being played. Smart officiating by the referee, Islam Pescanar. 1 minute left. 3-2 Greenville. Krul. Switch back into the middle from him. Tumi Moshaban dispossessed by Jacques. Re-wrangled by Yarrow, but there was a drag back.
That's what Ivan Jacques has been brought on to do. Use that big physical presence. Josh Yarrow claiming there was a bit of a jersey pull. It was done slyly enough that Jacques got away with it. This might do it for Greenville. What a win this would be for the men in green. And Mom getting the crowd fired up.
Screaming for the whistle is Dave Dixon. It's taken away. Robles left behind Mubanor. Greenville committed a lot of bodies forward. AC Boise encouraged with one final push. Evan Lee is there. Zane Bupp is there. The whistle is there. An explosive, exhaustive 90 minutes comes and goes, and Greenville get it done.
Finishing has been their problem all season, but had no problem tonight. Finishing with aplomb, especially that first goal. The bicycle kick from Lucas Meek. And a well-deserved victory for the Greenville Triumph over perhaps a tired Boise side after their travel issues this week, but had plenty of firepower off the bench, just couldn't do anything in that second half. Credit to that back line of Greenville Triumph as well as the defensive midfielders for really limiting the Stars' chances for the visitors.
A grand odyssey of a game with heroes aplenty. Greenville with one more. 3-2 the final score on a night where the fireworks were firing. Here in the upstate, we break it all down when we return. Greenville, 3 points on the back of 3 great goals. They take down AC Boise here tonight. Take it all in, making sense of a thrilling contest that came and went here in Malden, South Carolina. Lucas Meek got us started with a bicycle kick. Azad Liati won the day for Greenville, and as it lands, 3-2 the final score. As post-game coverage is presented by Airsys with Ross Davenport. I'm Peyton.
Jake Dangle on the left-footed finish into the back of the net. 29 total shots. Certainly one of the more entertaining games of the season. Greenville with a massive 3 points in one of their games in hand.
We'll have to continue the good love and feeling. They will offer their home venue to the Portland Hearts of Pine at the weekend, but now a chance to rarely celebrate for a team that's been through a lot this year. Greenville over AC Boise, 3-2. What a game. One of the games of the League One season transgresses in the Palmetto State of South Carolina. Boise brought it, Greenville brought it home, and they get all 3 points on the back of 3 goals by 3 separate Greenvillian Suns. My partner, Ross Davenport, and our entire fantastic casting crew, folks. I've been Peyton Gallagher. This has been the USL League One. Happy trails from Malden. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.